Welcome to our first official episode of About an Artist. This is a place where we feature talented artists, promote their art, compensate them for their work, and give them a platform to tell their story on this channel. We're so excited to introduce you to our first guest, Billy Wilkins, a 24-year-old songwriter, guitarist, producer, and now YouTube content creator.
Can you come through? I just want you.
Come on, Billy, play me a song. There's a rock star in the making, Billy Von Wilkins.
Since his music career, along with so many artists, have been affected by COVID, he began a YouTube channel where he has gained over 40,000 subscribers and counting over the past year.
I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about.
Not only is Billy an incredible artist, he's absolutely hilarious, and his subscribers can never really know what to expect from him.
I say moo, I say moo.
Oh my god, it's a fucking potato.
Oh my god, it's a fucking man with a guitar.
Body up, the dancing potato.
Plus, be sure to stay around until the very end of the video to hear one of Billy's hit singles, Cigarettes and Chardonnay, and we are so excited and honored to introduce you to him today. Welcome, Billy.
Yo, what's going on, Jess?
So tell us a little bit about you and what you create.
Alright, so I guess I'm a singer-songwriter, guitarist, producer, and now I guess YouTube content creator or something like that.
So the list is growing.
Yeah, unexpectedly.
So is that due to COVID, or how did that happen?
When all this started, all the madness, I was performing at the bars every weekend for a living, and that's all I did. And I was also teaching a lot of guitar. When everything shut down, I obviously lost all the live shows and everything. So I started seeking out different outlets, and then the YouTube videos started working out, and I've been posting there ever since.
What do you want me to play, bro?
Thunderstruck.
He's actually pretty good.
And you have how many subscribers now?
We just hit 40,000 subscribers. So I only started over the summer. So what is that, like 8 months ago, I think?
So you were born and raised in New Jersey, and you currently live there, correct?
I do.
And you performed there a lot?
Oh my God, every weekend. Every weekend. Especially at like the Jersey Shore, on the boardwalk, all the time.
So tell me about your family. Did you come from a family of musicians? Were you the first? What was that like?
Typical crazy New Jersey Italian family. So my grandfather sang a little bit on my dad's side. Then my dad played a little bit of guitar growing up. My mom has a half brother who ended up actually being a professional jazz guitarist and went to Berkeley just like me and everything. Yeah, he started coming over every weekend and teach me jazz.
So was jazz kind of your first introduction into music?
No, definitely more like Southern rock, blues, and like Led Zeppelin. Somehow I ended up studying like French gypsy jazz, like Django Reinhardt type of stuff. I studied with a guy named Stefan Rembel. And then I also had another amazing guitar teacher who wrote a bunch of songs for Kiss and everything. His name was Carl Cochran.
Did you always know you were going to be a musician, or what were you interested in from a young age?
So I always played guitar, but I didn't really take it seriously until I was maybe like 11 years old. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with Happy Gilmore. And the first thing I wanted to do was be a pro golfer.
Son of a ball, why didn't you just go home?
So my mom used to have to hide the brooms and golf clubs in the house. When I was like in 6th grade, I played at the middle school talent show. Right after my band threw me out of the band, I decided to go and play by myself, and I did. And that night changed everything. After that night, that was it for me. I knew that's all I wanted to do, just chase that feeling again and again.
So what happened at the talent show? I feel like that was a monumental time.
So like I said, so the band kicked me out. My father made a bet with me, and he told me that if I could learn the full song Flirtin' with Disaster and Eruption by Eddie Van Halen, that he would buy me a Gibson Les Paul. And that was like my dream guitar then. That was like no kid that age had a Gibson like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So I started practicing guitar like 10 hours a day. I started getting good really quickly. So my dad was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to buy this kid a Gibson. I finally learned the songs and he got me this guitar. I had to perform those songs in front of a crowd. So I decided to go Flirt with Disaster for the talent show.
Hey Billy, what are you doing?
Rehearsing.
Rehearsing for what?
I'm really nervous.
Yeah?
Very.
I went and I played it all by myself, so I'm all excited. I walk out on stage. It's like my first performance. I walk on stage and the guy in the back yelling, the backing track won't play. It won't play. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, there's literally 500 people and it was a packed auditorium. And so I was panicking. Everybody in my school was there. The track wouldn't work, so I just started playing the song, just guitar, and I just played the whole thing like that. I'm kind of blurred. I don't remember the actual playing part, but at the end of it, I got a standing ovation. And there was a jazz band in the middle school for 7th and 8th graders. And the director, Mr. Gillick, came up to me and he goes, hey, do you want to be in jazz band? He goes, you play really good. So I was like, yeah. So he put me in, and I was the only 6th grader in the band, and that really put a fire under my ass to just keep playing. And that feeling that I got, the adrenaline from being terrified but like really hyped at the same time, I wanted to chase that forever.
That's traumatic. I feel like most people would just crack. You know, most people would break under pressure.
That was that moment. That was my defining, like, okay. It's just like that gut feeling when something horrible happens. You're like, no, it's like what can go wrong will go wrong.
Who were your influences growing up in music specifically?
First off, my dad definitely gave me a big push. He was always there by my side, driving me to guitar lessons, keeping me going. I had amazing guitar teachers. Like Carl Cochran, Stefan Rembel, my uncle Mike, even my teachers of those jazz bands they taught me, they installed good work ethic and practice and repetition into me. But then like my musical influences were probably like Buckethead, Sean Lane, Guthrie Govan. My favorite band right now is probably like The Neighborhood. I listen to a lot of EDM music too. A lot of ambient stuff as well, like S.G. Lewis and even Mark Ronson with a lot of the funky stuff. But it's weird, but then the music I make, I don't feel like really reflects what I listen to as much. But it's a weird thing.
But your music is a little bit all over the place. Like you can't really place it into one.
I'm a mess. I try a little bit of everything because I'm inspired by so many different things though, you know, like I'm just pulling bits and pieces of all these different things, like because I love jazz, I love electronic stuff, I love ambient stuff. Basically my goal is to take all those different genres and fuse it together into a pop format.
Do you feel like genres are like kind of becoming a thing of the past a little bit?
They're dying. It's really weird to watch. The music industry is in such a strange place right now, especially with like the power of the internet, like things like TikTok and there's songs on the radio now that would not have been on the radio if it weren't for TikTok, and just the amount of power that can, like you could post something on there and it can blow up overnight. And when there's demand there for a certain sound, the radio stations have no choice, I feel like, but to start playing it, and labels even have to jump onto those trends. I think it's good because it gives the small guy a chance. You don't have to be some big shot signed to a label anymore to blow up. But at the same time, I feel like part of some of the art gets sacrificed in exchange for trying to get somebody's view, because people have such a short attention span. You know, so sometimes it's more so about doing something that's going to grab somebody that quick than it is about creating something that's on a deeper level. But there's definitely exceptions. There's people that are doing both. Don't get me wrong. It's a little bit harder to find that blend of both.
And you went to Berklee School of Music, correct?
Yeah, no, Berklee was a big part of growing up, I guess. Throughout high school, every summer, I went to all the Berklee summer programs. So by the time I went to the actual college, I already had so many friends that were going to the school. And so when I went there, I just surrounded myself with musicians that were so much better than me. And I learned a crap. I learned more from the kids around me than I did from the actual classes there. It was a cool experience, but I'm really not a school person. Like, I just wanted to leave and just get to work and just start making music. I didn't feel like I had to get like a degree to do it or have my parents help me spend all that money that, you know, it just wasn't worth it. I left. I kind of did nothing for the first year. I was just kind of in shell shock, like, what do I do now? How do I figure this out? I ended up meeting up with Jerry Wanda, who's like a celebrity super producer. The guy has worked for everybody. He was the bass player for the Fugees, like Killing Me Softly. He really taught me a lot about making commercial music, and I learned a lot just seeing how these other people would work and watching other producers work, and it really changed a lot for me as a writer and a producer.
So you got connected with them while you were at the studio?
I knew about Jerry, but I didn't think I was going to be meeting with him. I thought I was just going to check out the studio. We just got invited to go check it out. Me and Max got a call at like 10 p.m. on like a Monday night. He's like, dude, they want to see you in that studio. Like, do you want to go to New York real quick? So we jumped in my Jeep. We drove all the way to New York City. I remember sitting in the lobby. You hear it's a hip hop studio, so you hear all the bass, like the sub everywhere. So we're waiting in the lobby. I hear the receptionist going, oh, I think Jerry's back. And like, Jerry Wanda? Like, what do you mean? Like, am I gonna meet him? The elevator door opens and there's Jerry in like this bright orange fuzzy vest. And he comes right up to me and goes, you must be Billy Wilkins. And I was like, you know who I am? Like, what? What's happening? And then, so we'll be ready for you soon. They brought me up to like the penthouse of the studio, which overlooks like Times Square. I had a crappy old Dan Electro guitar with me. So they just sat down, got straight to it, and Jerry goes, so are you gonna play that thing or you're just gonna sit here? And I was like, okay. I played a couple songs that I liked, and when I finished playing the songs, they didn't react to them at all. Like, nothing. I thought they hated me. The next day, he gave me his card. He said, call me when you get back from that tour. So I went on that tour. I came back, and I called the next day. I was at his house, and he's like, listen, he goes, I really believe you've got something. He goes, let me take you under my wing and teach you, and let's see what we can make together. So we made a lot of songs, and everything from Monsters to my last song, Same Mold, I did with him.
So you wrote the lyrics, you wrote the music.
Yeah, so a lot of the writing, every song's a little bit different. I have like a solid team now. The songs are either all me or they're me, my friend John Flynn, who's an amazing producer too. It was like a 3-man dream team.
So you're still working with them?
Not as much with since everything's kind of taken this turn that it has. I've really just been focusing on just trying to do everything myself. I still, don't get me wrong, I still want to collaborate with a lot of people, but I just really want to see what I can do when I do everything myself. Kind of just put the big boy pants on and just see what I can do. Because I feel like to become a successful musician, you have to know how every part of it works. When I'm by myself making music, it's a little bit different because I'm kind of like totally free. Because if I don't want somebody to hear something, they'll never hear it. Somebody else might think I sound like an idiot trying to do, but at least I can try it, and if it comes out cool, it comes out cool. If not, but I feel like I can totally be myself when I'm recording myself. And I don't have to worry about time limits in a studio or anything like that. It's just go.
Do you have a band?
I do. So on the recordings, it's usually just digitally produced or it's just me. But when I play live in person, I have a band of all guys that grew up playing in the bars here in New Jersey. They all grew up in Scotch Plains with me.
So tell us more about this Omegle thing. Obviously, the big point of About an Artist is featuring artists whose careers have been totally shifted because of COVID, and yours being one of them. So how did Omegle play a part in this?
It's honestly, it's a really weird how this all kind of worked out. So when I was in middle school, just learning guitar, I used to practice a lot, like 10 hours a day. And I was terrified to perform in front of people. So I would go on Omegle and I would just play guitar for people. I never recorded it or anything. I just would play different things, and I'd just play, and I'd just see how people reacted to different things that I'd play. I'd see what I could play that people would stop and listen to me for a couple seconds for, and I could see what I could play that people would just kind of skip and not really care about. Obviously, once everything closed down, I was just home. I was so bored. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I really wanted to play for people. I tried a lot of different things. I tried live streaming on Twitch for a while, but nothing really happened. I started posting a lot on TikTok, but I only found success doing like silly things. Finally, I was like, why don't I just go back on Omegle and just start playing for people there?
What kind of song do you want to hear?
Any.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Can I play one of my songs, I guess?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
You know, I saw a couple of other YouTubers like The Do, and I saw that they would always go on there and actually record the reactions. So like maybe I'll try to do something like that for TikTok. Maybe it'll, you know, people love reaction-based content. Maybe that'll go somewhere on TikTok. But just nothing happened. They didn't go anywhere. I posted them on Instagram too. And a lot of people kept commenting, asking me to post those videos on YouTube, like a compilation video of those and put them up. So finally one day, I think in June maybe, I tried it out, and the video did okay, but it was a good reaction to it, but I only had 1,000 subscribers back then. And I posted the video and nothing happened. Then I did it again the next week, and then I did it again the next week, and it started slowly getting bigger, and there's a little bit more progress. Then finally, like 3 months into doing this every week, the video got 100,000 views like pretty quickly, and I was like, wow, like maybe this is starting to work out. And the subscriber count started going up. Then I hit 10,000 subscribers and 20,000, and it kept going. And so then I started live streaming, and I just kept on posting them, and I've been doing it ever since. And I can't believe the amount of support I've gotten over those videos. It's been really crazy, but it's literally changed my life. It's given me something to do during all of this madness. So it's a weird website, but it's helping me out a lot.
What is the best thing you've ever experienced on Omegle?
This one time, I don't think I ended up posting it, but there was this girl that I played for, and she told me she had a pretty rough day. And I didn't really think anything of it, but I played her a song, and the girl just started crying when it was over, and I thought she was just crying because I sucked. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I was like, was I that bad? And she's like, no, like, that just really made me feel so much better. Like, that just saved my day. And I was like, whoa. And I never really thought before that about like the impact that something that simple could have on another person, but it makes a big difference if you can make somebody smile just once a day.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen on Omegle?
I probably think of like more of a PG one, because I've seen some things that are like, I have no words.
A lot of wieners in the dark, man. I don't get it. I don't know. Yo, this guy's not a wiener in the dark. Let's go.
The creepiest thing I've seen, there was this dude, he had a potato sack over his head, and he's holding like a baby doll, and he cut the face off of the baby doll, and then he put it on his own face. We locked gazes together, and I played something for him, and then that was it. So that was a weird one. I've seen some things that are so much worse I definitely can't say in this.
Wow. So you just keep clicking?
You gotta keep your hand on the trigger. Head on the trigger, and you just gotta tough it out. Because sometimes those videos take me like 7 hours of sitting there straight to film. But it's worth it because, I guess it's worth it. I think it's worth it. It's been worth it so far. I don't know. Oh my God.
You're selling your soul a little bit in the meantime, but I think it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
So our mission behind About an Artist is to really get to know the heart behind every artist, because that is the heartbeat of every artist. So we want to get to know that about you. So I'm going to ask you some rapid fire, deep questions. Are you ready?
All right. Let's go.
What is your definition of happiness?
Honestly, I think the definition of happiness for me right now would be being able to do what I love, while being able to afford what I love, while also being able to be with the people that I love.
What are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful for, honestly, the support of my family and my friends that over the years they've believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. So it definitely helped me keep going. Because especially like when I left college, I was really lost. I didn't know what the hell to do with myself. But they really helped me keep my head up and kept me inspired to keep going.
What would you say your words of wisdom are for the younger generation of musicians, or just the younger generation in general?
Try different things, and when you try different things, try them consistently. Don't be afraid to mess up. You've got to fail them literally a million times before you get something that pulls off. Like, I've posted so many videos that haven't done anything, but all it takes is one to kind of push through and get you to that next level. Then you do it again, and you do it again. You just have to keep going.
How do you want to be remembered? How do you want your music to be remembered?
I really want to create a song that makes me, that kind of not immortalizes me. I'd rather the song be immortal. You know what I mean? Like, create a song that's kind of timeless. I don't know. I want to be able to inspire other people the way that a lot of other people have inspired me.
What is your favorite song you've ever written?
My favorite one to play live is definitely Cigarettes and Chardonnay. I think on a deeper level, my favorite song it's probably Hurt Before, because I had just gone through like a little breakup at the time that I was recording those songs. Like Hurt Before, Cold, and like Last Night, they're all from like the same 3 days. I feel like it just perfectly captures like where my mind was at during that period of time.
What would you say your biggest accomplishments in music have been? What are you most proud of?
It's really weird, but so far this YouTube thing. And it's weird because it's the first time I feel like I get to just 100% just be myself. And I've learned that it's so much more important to have people that are fans of you than just of your music. I mean, obviously your music has to be good, don't get me wrong. But I think at the end of the day, if you're just an enjoyable person and people like what you're doing, I think it goes a lot farther.
What do you think has been the biggest lesson you've learned as a musician?
I think the most important thing that I've learned in the past year or two is just to be authentic. Because for the longest time, I really just tried to fit into like that pop sound, and I wasn't being true to myself. But the stuff I'm starting to write now and the last couple of releases I've put out, I feel like are really just genuine songs. It's made me feel so much more comfortable in my own skin, and even performing in front of people, just accepting, okay, I used to like even hate my voice. I couldn't stand listening to myself. But at this point, I'm like, all right, well, this is what I sound like. And if you like it, great. If you don't like it, it's not for you. I don't care. I'm just putting it out there. That's it. It's just time to get out of my own way and just kind of go and just be true to myself while I do it.
If you weren't doing music right now, what would you be doing?
Honestly, it's weird because I've never really thought about it, but things that I love are I'm fascinated by like the universe and like space and like astrophysics. Strangely, I'm not good at math, but that's probably because I spent too much time playing music. My father, he builds houses, so I'd probably get into the family business of flipping houses, I guess, which I still kind of want to do it, even though I'm doing music at the same time.
What can we expect from you over the next year? Are there any exciting things planned? I know it's hard to plan for the future right now.
Definitely a lot of YouTube collaborations with other YouTube artists. That'll definitely probably be priority number one. But also, I really want to get some new music out. It's been like a year since I've put a song out, really. And it's driving me insane. I want to put out a project that's everything you hear is me. Every instrument, every bit of production. I think that's kind of I just want to prove it to myself that I can do it. I did that with my song I Think She Likes Me. That's the first song I released that I produced entirely myself. And then I had my good friend John Flynn mix and master that one. Definitely I want to prove to myself that I can do an entire project beginning to end by myself.
Last question, where can people find you? Where can we keep up with what you're doing?
YouTube, Spotify, Instagram is a big one at Willie G Wilkes. But mainly, yeah, just I'm really gonna keep on focusing on this YouTube thing. It's been a blessing so far, and hopefully I can keep it up. Gonna keep on putting new music out and keep trying to make people smile on the way.
And you're gonna hit 100K.
I hope so. I want to do it by the end of the year. I want 100K subs by the end of the year. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much, Billy. It was an honor getting to know you. We're so excited to watch you and your journey and watch your career transform over the next year. And we're just really excited for your success.
Back at you, Jess. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for me. It means the world. And I'm excited to see who else about an artist can help out along the way. And I love what's going to happen here. I think it's going to turn into something really beautiful.
Thanks for watching our first episode of About an Artist. We were thrilled to have Billy as our first feature, and at the end of this video, you'll be able to hear one of his singles, Cigarettes and Chardonnay, so be sure to stay around for that. And as we've mentioned before, About an Artist is a donation-based program for the arts, so each episode costs between $1,500 and $2,000 after production costs and compensating the artists that we showcase. Feel free to visit our website at aboutanartist.org. There you can make a donation to support an artist or even nominate your favorite artist to receive a grant. And one last thing, About an Artist currently can only accept donations in Bitcoin. We run our own BTC Pay server and can accept payments both on-chain and using the Lightning Network. Just click on the donate button at www.aboutanartist.org. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell to be notified when our next episode drops. We cannot wait to introduce you to our next artist. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Here is Billy Wilkins and his single Cigarettes and Chardonnay. Enjoy.
Wake up for the sunset, drinking till I forget everything I said was true. Waving with the water, wishing that I got her stuck here in my arms like glue. I just wanna ride my wave away, but I'm caught up in your curve and here to stay. My boat won't be leaving now, all I'm needing is you for just an hour or two. Can you come through? I just want you and those things you do. Can you come through? Can you come through? I just want you and those things you do. Can you come through? All these cigarettes and Chardonnay. How did we just get this way? I just want you. Can you come through? Stayed up for the sunrise, lighting up your blue eyes, wishing I could make you mine. Told me that you love me, now you're looking lovely, but a light will never shine. I just wanna ride my wave away, but caught up in your curve and I can't stay. My boat might be leaving, now you're all I'm needing. Guess we're running out of time. Can you come through? I just want you and those things you do.